Did the what did I want to ask you? I wanted to get a little bit of sort of your early history, if possible, just about what life was like in Aberdeen, because I think a lot of people grow up in towns like Aberdeen.
Been to Aberdeen?
I've never been to Aberdeen.
Oh.
But I grew up in a really tiny town too, so I just wondered if
Where at?
in New Jersey.
Mm.
Really tiny.
Yeah, it's weird. Like where we are, it's like Boise, Spokane, Seattle, Olympia, Aberdeen, China. You know, it's like no.
Not a lot to do there. Is that what you're saying?
I've never gone swimming in the ocean.
I did.
Lived next to an ocean all my life.
I got pulled out by the riptide, and all of a sudden I got spooked, and I saw there was like something poked out at me. It was a sea lion, like looking at me.
Oh wow!
And I see all the breakers on the shore.
Then here comes Slash, just like.
And I crossed myself and thank for John Paul II.
Well, that leads right into my next question, because I want to find out what everybody thinks now that all 3 episodes of the Guns video is out.
I haven't seen the last one.
Now that I get it! Sense, yeah.
Any thoughts? Like,
I think they still have something up their sleeve. Maybe there'll be a 4th. Yeah.
Whatever happened to John Paul I? I mean, how many days was he in the Vatican and he died? You know, that's what I get out of that.
So there's no definitive answer on that. I'm puzzled by that video too.
God. It was too hard rock.
When did punk arrive where you guys were living? I mean, did it come on time, like 77, or did it come a little later?
Yeah. Let's just say that people were still wearing bell bottoms in 1987.
Wow. But surely there was a small enclave of people that would get the records, right?
Right.
Not when it came out. Absolutely not. I really doubt if anyone, bought Never Mind the Bullocks, or
really?
No way.
Anything.
That's 77. But people were buying like the Butthole Surfers' first record and.
By the mid '80s or mid '80s.
Yeah.
Like My War, Black Flag.
But you still had to go to Seattle to get it.
Or Olympia. You can go to Olympia again.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Do you go back and visit Aberdeen a lot, or?
I do.
I can't even remember last.
Because I got my old family there and a bunch of old timers there, like people who are really old, like Clayton Geezy and stuff. And those guys are like the old. Yeah.
Aren't you two related?
Yeah.
These guys are related. They're related.
It is.
We didn't know that until like last year.
Yeah,
you're related?
They're related.
In what way?
They all have 6 toes on each foot.
No, it's through marriage. It's like this weird marriage relation, but his uncle is my uncle.
But everyone in Aberdeen's related.
One way or another.
Like a Jukes and Calicax thing. Great.
But these people are so cool because they're the old-time Washington people, the old-time Aberdeen people, and they're like total full of respect, and they're really neat, and they remember all the old times, and they're really cool to like talk to them. Old-timers disease.
Related.
We have too much aluminum.
Wow. Did the looking back now at the sort of the whole sub pop grunge thing, now that we can put it in the past, I think. What do you make of it all? I mean, do you think it hurt the music at all, or hurt bands, or was it a good thing as a promotional vehicle?
Always a good thing, sure.
If someone wouldn't have come up with grunge, it would have been called something else.
And did it ever have any meaning, do you think?
Did it ever have any what?
Any meaning?
I think it described what kind of guitar rock we were playing at the time pretty well. I thought it was an okay word.
There was a scene, too. There was, like, bands like The Fluid and Tad and Mudhoney, Swallow, like the whole sub-pop scene. Like,
let's not forget Blood Circus.
Oh, Blood Circus. God, thanks for reminding me. And it was, like, really cool. Like, people would play shows, and there was, like, no pretensions or anything. It was just, like, rock and roll bands intertwining with other rock and roll bands.
It was the first time that I had seen an audience just get completely loose. To break down all that cool barriers, where people are trying to be punk or cool in the early and mid 80s, when we used to go to punk rock shows, when all of a sudden, Sub Pop was putting out records and we were all friends with all these other bands, and and the audiences at the places like the Vogue and the Central, it was incredible. Like people were, diving all over each other and falling down drunk and smiling and just vomiting and having a great time. It's just there were no inhibitions at that time. Just everyone decided, let's have fun.
Is it still possible to do that, do you think? I mean, is that
Not
still
in Seattle.
Not in Seattle. No, we tried to play a show at the Crocodile a little while ago, and it was one of the stiffest, most uncomfortable shows I've ever played.
People are just watching, expecting.
Expecting what?
Expecting the Nevermind phenomenon. Fuck up. You're like, fuck up, yeah.
I have to go to the bathroom.
No.
Sorry.
Okay, can you
There's
just
one right there.
go handheld? We're just going to send the camera with you. And
I was talking about Chris Novoselic, the suicide therapist. Like, listen, you commit suicide. Then I pull out a business card. Kevorkian. But that guy pulled into the court today, I saw him, in a blanket. He's been on a hunger strike, 11 days. Oh, God. I am the withered symbols
of something.
of what do they call that? That was, in Washington, they had that initiative, and it failed.
Euthanasia?
Euthanasia, right to die. I'm the symbol for the right to die. Pro-lifers are like pro-lifers on both ends. Like, fetuses and chronically dead people falling apart.
Chronically dead people.
But they're pro-death penalty. Keep forgetting that.
They're great. We love them. How is I wanted to ask you what it's like playing with these guys as opposed to playing with your previous group.
Oh, it's kind of the same.
Well, that's good. That's good.
You call me Darby?
It's got the same problem.
Oh, gee, I hope not. I hope that's not true. So I have to ask you about the story of the moment, since the only thing we cover is this Michael Jackson thing. What do you think is happening? What do you think?
We have no right to even...
No, I'm not asking you to speculate on his guilt or innocence. What do you think of just the uproar over it? Like this...
I think it's
They need a
ridiculous.
story.
It's a
Story.
waste of
The
time.
press needs a story. Doesn't matter what the story is. It's a story.
Why don't you ask
You know?
Latoya? She'll do
This
the
starving
Yeah.
child.
Latoya. What do you think of
This is
Latoya?
it. The story is not like Sarajevo. It's a starving child in Sarajevo who's like foaming at the mouth and has like all this shell shrapnel in his back. The story is that child foaming at the mouth, and not what's like going on there. It's like the story. You gotta have a story.
Why can Latoya pose nude with a snake but not have sexual relations with her sleazy Las Vegas husband?
Question for the ages. Who knows? I don't know. But I mean, all these people are just, there's this big story in Vanity Fair about this, and just everybody involved in the story just seems like scum. I mean, they just seem horrible.
Yeah.
They just seem horrible.
Fuck you all.
Yeah, it's just...
All the story press is like perspective. They gotta get perspective on something, like in Rolling Stone, and how many perspectives have we read about the 60s? The 60s, what it meant, and where we are is like baby boomers and all this shit. It's like perspective and story and like revisionism. And it's just fucking, who knows what is after that, you know? You read all this crap. Just
So are the authorities calling Michael back to the States? Is he actually breaking a law right now?
Not yet, because he hasn't been charged with anything criminally,
Well, in
but he has a civil
January.
suit pending, and
Yeah,
he's supposed to be here
yeah, but
maybe
the
this
Globes
weekend.
say
Deposition in
legally,
January.
he isn't like,
No, he's not a fugitive.
jumping.
No.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, so what's the big deal? He
Well,
has
I
all
think
the
they
right to
think
be
they
away
think that,
until-
but I think they think he's acting suspicious.
So it's speculation.
Yeah. Oh, totally. I mean, who knows?
When
I
I
mean, it wouldn't
say-
matter if he got on Oprah again and cried in front of everybody. It's not going to change anyone's opinion.
You know what's gonna
about it.
happen? He's gonna fake his death. They're gonna fucking burn him, and he's gonna have his ashes scattered over Euro Disney. That's it. And I'll never.
And they're
drink-
desperate. They'll go for it.
I just feel really sorry. For
Every
him.
time, you know, I'll be there. I'll be there. Just call out my name, and I'll be there. And who's it goes on? Tito. And Tito comes out. I'll be there to comfort you.
Hey, Tito's the cool one, I think.
He was only involved in the Mall of America thing. It's the only strange
It's
thing
just
he
the
did.
What's that?
press needs
Oh,
a
that's a
story.
great place.
Story,
Biggest
story.
mall.
Is he
Oh,
involved
awesome.
in the Camp
Polly
Snoopy
Kloss.
ordeal?
Look at
Snoopy? I don't know.
Polly Kloss.
Camp Sniper?
Story. That was a story. It
Well,
was a
you know,
tragic story.
that's what journalism does. They zoom into a great big issue and take one thing out of it, and that's and people. The theory is that people can relate to the one thing.
And I'm giving you a story too, as a press person. I'm saying Polly Kloss, Klaas.
Right.
And like Polly Wants a Cracker, the song Polly. You know, and they didn't. Nobody latched on that, so I thought.
They'll watch on it as soon as we're playing in LA.
Yeah.